Good day. You see this opening, you're going to know it's slop in the shop time. And what slop in the shop is on my channel is the bits and pieces, odds and ends, the little things that you can't make a complete video out of. There is so many different names for these videos by different creators, so everybody tries to be creative. And in my case, I decided on the term slop in the shop based on something that I was raised in the country that I'm familiar with, that we didn't really have that much in my family, but my personal family, mom and dad, but other people around me did. And one of the things people, when I was growing up in rural North Carolina, people would raise maybe a pig or a hog and slaughter. Sometimes they'd have smokehouses, sometimes they'd just make it all into sausage and pork chops and such as that. We have, and I know my dad has in the past when I was really little, would even take and have it smoked. We'd take to a barbecue place and have a shoulder smoked, and we'd eat it like that too. So that's what slop in the shop is, and it's odds and ends and bits and pieces. It can be mail call, purchases, viewer gifts, if somebody sends something in as a viewer appreciation gift, little projects that maybe I'm just working on, it's completed, it's real simple, you don't need to show all the work to, 3 or 4 little thises and that's. So that's what slop in the shop is, and that's what we're doing. This what this video is going to be. So you see me a little different than you normally do. So I hope you enjoy slop in the shop. I hope you enjoy visiting in the shop. And please, I'll remind you at the beginning, we appreciate all the subscribers, the people who stop by and visit, and the people who comment. So jump right in. We're going to hit whatever today's slop in the shop is, and I hope you enjoy the video. Have a great day, and I'll either be back in a regular video or slop in the shop. So let's get to it. Item number 1, starrett dial calipers. You know my affinity for starrett dial calipers. It's been well stated. Well, this Sunday, past Sunday the 14th, I went and made a cruise to the local flea market over here, Barnyard, or used to be called 321 back years ago, over here in Dallas. I walked by, I bought several things, and I walked by this one vendor, and you know, the typical tools, looks like somebody picked up at a yard sale or an auction or just whatever, a mixture of good and China Moniz junk. And in one of the boxes was laying this starrett dial caliper box, or steel calipers, excuse me, in this metal box, which dates it a little bit older, opened up just like this. Well, the curiosity got the best of me, and old Jim goes up to him and says, "Dude, what do you want for these?" He said, "I'll take $15 for them." I couldn't get my wallet open fast enough. I have a set you've seen me use on videos. These are probably close to 40 years old, and they're an excellent caliper. You can't, to me, it's the best dial caliper made on the market, and if you can get your hands on a starrett, they'll last a lifetime. I have a proud owner of 2 of them. And the biggest advantage, the 2 things about the starrett that makes it a superior caliper, and I don't know if you can see this, I'll try to bring you up close, is the rack is always at the top. Even though the teeth are fine, the rack's at the top, and this extension is very narrow. Now I have, and I'll dig it out here while you're looking at some tool porn to starrett. The very first set of dial calipers I personally bought myself was a set sold by Sears and Roebuck. These are dirty. These are approximately 38 to 40, about 35 years old. Now, these are made, Sears had people to make stuff for them. You notice it jumped, and it's not in the center. But the biggest thing with a lot of calipers, the dial ones, is you see where these racks are. And you see how this dirt can get right down here at the bottom of these racks of usage. Plus, you see how wide this right here is? That's the difference right there. And the truth of it is, I've used these, they're still accurate enough, but why do you want, you know? And now, you know, I said I bought them because it was cheap, and you've seen in my videos this set. And I bought this set used off eBay because I wanted a set of starretts because I knew how good it was. I give $90 for this. This is a newer version in the plastic case. And you see this has still got the closed cell foam and all the good stuff. Now, I'm just really tickled. The madam said, well, you bought that for, you already got it. I said, I know. I said, well, you know, if I get desperate, I can put one of these on eBay and sell them. But I'm not. It's just the fact that I just didn't want, I wanted to give this one a good home. And if I do drop and break mine, I have another set. I mean, you know, you use calipers and you'll drop them. So that's the starrett calipers. As I say a minute ago about the 3 videos, the first time I shot this, I showed where I picked this mag base up from Harbor Freight. This particular coolant thing did not have a mag base attached to it. You know, you've seen it in the earlier Slop shop video. This one come from Amazon. But to make it useful, it needs to be on a mag base. Well, Harbor Freight, good old horrible freight, they sell these inexpensive mag bases for about $14.90. I paid $16 out the door for it. And that's the whole stand with the arm and the whole thing. And I basically just come home, took the arm off, drilled, you know, this is cast aluminum, drilled in here and here, and put 2 1032 screws. I had to open these holes up a bit. So now my mister, or my cooler, is now mounted to a mag base permanently attached. I'm going to start using this more, especially on the mill sometimes. A lot of creators and YouTube people and all have these inexpensive ones. I know MrPragmaticLee's got one, uses it quite often. A lot of the folks put them on their surface grinders and whatnot. So I've got this thing now the way I want it. Right now I just keep it attached behind my mill because it's just a good place to store it. Like I say, it's just a Harbor Freight little modification to that. So that's item number 2. Item number 3 is the update from the Slop in the shop about the Comparator. And again, I bought the Comparator for, I've seen these on eBay the other day and didn't get quite the deal I thought I got, but I got a good enough deal for the broken knobs that was on it. I'll still say about $15, $15, probably more than that considering this was free shipping, and I think it was $28 or something like it at the door. But I needed an indicator, and I wanted at least a half a thousandths for what I was using this for. So I got one Mr. Amazon and mounted it on there. And I'll turn this around in case you hadn't seen. I just took some hex stock and made some brass screws. I've showed that before, but this is how the whole thing's set up. When I worked at Eaton, we used Federals, and we used them to check parallelism on gears. They just had the cast iron tables, and after a while the cast iron tables would get worn and they would take them back and surface grind them and bring them back in. I feel like I can use this for more than that just because it's a little piece of granite. I just have such limited space. I'd like to have a small surface plate, and I still might get one, but the problem is I'm kind of limited on my space. If I do that, I need to build rearrange something in my under my shelf here to where I could slide stuff and store them in shelves under here and make some storage without taking up no floor space. So, but I'm tickled I've got this fixed, and this will serve me fairly well for what I do. Okay, this is 2 more flea market finds from the local flea market. This was the first, this one, and the next one I'm going to be showing. This is a Carbide End Mill, and you don't see many stuff like this at our flea markets. I've oftentimes made comments on Adam's channel. He finds all that good stuff down there at Pensacola. Most of the time here in my local flea market it's just mostly it's sort of like a Latino supermarket or Latino open air market. We have a lot of Latinos that work in construction and such stuff in this area, North Carolina, and especially around here. You know, we're close to some fairly large cities, and so you know, this isn't a dish or a racist comment. It's very hard-working people. And there's a gentleman that we have comes in our house, does some of our home improvement. He's awesome. So, but you don't see much of this stuff. I kind of got off track, and so this guy had them, and I just bought one. It's carbide. It's a metric, and I give $10 for that. So I'm fairly well satisfied. Now, that right there is a work support. Normally those, and that's probably that and is too, is a woodworking tool. But it also is very handy on our saws. Sometimes I don't saw much stock that's long in my shop, but if I have to, I can roll the saw around and do it. But I need, sometimes you need a work support for your stock with your saws. So I've been looking for one. And again, this Sunday at the flea market, I walked by and I spied this one. Asked a gentleman, you know, that had the items there in his area, what he wanted for it. He said he'd take $5 for it, and I purchased it. So it folds up, so I can just pick it up and fold it up and set it over up behind my bow door grinder out of the way, which is very handy for me. So that in itself is really a blessing for what we want. So I think that I'm well pleased. So now we're going to move right on, and this is the stuff that you'll see in another video, Slop the Shop. Now something real quick I wanted to cover today while I'm just doing video, and probably put a couple things in the making stuff. I kind of get aggravated. I'm going to sound like Mr. Pete and Rand a second. If I go to the hardware and buy, like what I was doing the other project, and I was making those tool holders, I picked up some 1/4-inch set screws, and I paid like 1/4x1s, like 80-something cents a piece for them at the local hardware. These actually came from Fast Deal, and I bought these back when I was doing the boring bar project, and I bought 100 of them. And I bought 1-inch, and you may be saying to yourself in the background about the 1-inch pieces about it. Why buy 1-inch and you know, what are you going to do if you need shorter ones? Well, you cut them off and you just modify them, and it takes a little bit of your time, but then you always have screws. And 1-inch is just a popular size. I've done the same thing with the other screws, to buy them in 1-inch. And in this case, I had to cut the screws so short, say it about right here. I took it and marked it and grabbed it with a drill and took it over to my bench grinder, and this ground a V in it where it would come out about the 1-inch, just enough to knock the edges of the threads off and rough it. And then I put it in and sawed it off to the proper length, and then just knocked the little burr off. So it's, again, for us guys, I'm going to repeat this, if you got more time than you have money, sometimes buying stuff like this in bulk, especially if you're doing little projects all along, you have the screws on hand, and you're not paying an outrageous price for the screws. And that's one of the things that I try to think about, and that's why I was kicking myself the other day on the quarter 20s. And I really need to look them up, see what they cost, and buy me about a bunch of 1-inch quarter 20 screws, set screws, and do the same thing, keep them in one of these trays like this. Okay, so done with the rant. Have a good one. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope you enjoyed what we did here in the shop. I'm going to use a disclaimer. This is my method in my shop, what I deem to be the best method. But now, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And the comments who will give me, will be answered, and sometimes give me ideas how to be better at what we're doing and making videos. So, again, I'm going to thank you for subscribing, or thank you for viewing. If you're not a subscriber, please do, and join the people who are giving me some subscriptions to try to get to these magic numbers to grow the channel. I'm going to do videos where I ever get monetized or not, because I do the videos because I love them. But I would like to get a little chance at getting a little bit of revenue off the ads that you're forced to watch when you come to these channels on YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, tell your friends, anybody that's interested, spread the word. And we'll see you in the next video that we're making something to and having fun in the shop. So enjoy.